Good morning, this is Alistair Goodell from GT Driving School. This is the first time I've used this view on my new fancy camera, and I'm just wondering if you will find it useful or interesting to see the difference. What it basically is that I have an inset view now of my wonderful, beautiful face. Hello. And I'm hoping to show you what we need to do in regards to observation, viewing, looking around us as we approach certain obstacles down the road. So the idea is that you can see what I'm looking at, and you can also see how I'm reacting to it. So with a bit of luck, that's what's going to happen. Now I'm currently in Maidstone. I'm in a housing estate called Shepway, and I am in Middlesex Road, just very close to some D-junctions. Now, if you are in Maidstone, you will be familiar with D-junctions. Basically, you have, in effect, three different types of junction. You have a T-junction, which is your normal way of getting up to from a side road on to a major road, where you then pause at the major road, you then decide to turn left or right, and then you move on. You've then got yourself Y junctions, which is basically the T junction has been split into two, and you come down to approach the junction. You need to keep on the left, and then you can turn left or right at the end there, and any oncoming traffic will be coming down the right hand part of the Y. On a D junction though, you have that Y shape, but they are both two-way. Okay, so if you were to turn right, you would need to be in the right hand arm, but keeping on the left hand side of that right hand arm. It sounds more difficult than it really is, and the first time you probably do these, it will feel weird. And you'll probably need to do it 2 or 3 times at least before you start feeling comfortable with them. So, without any further ado, I'm going to move off from my point here and continue to our first D junction. So, the car is on, so all I've got to do is put it into drive. I'm going to take my handbrake off. Now I'm under full control of the car. So the first things I've got to do is look around me, and I'm going from window, mirror, mirror, window, mirror, mirror, window, and then looking over my right shoulder, blind spot. If I see anything behind me, I'm not going to go. If I see anything towards me, I might be able to go, but I will need to indicate. Okay, so I'm looking around, window, mirror, 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 window, blind spot. Nothing seems to be there, so I'm indicating right, and off we go. So as we move off, I'm having a quick look around to make sure it's safe, and I'm coming down the road, going past these vehicles on my left hand side, going a little bit wide from them because they're quite close to the curb. I'm looking around me, keeping close to the left hand side of this right hand bend, because you never know, there might be something coming around the corner, and we'll keep on going down the road. I'm looking around me as I go around that corner, and as we come down the road, we're now approaching the D junction. Now we're going to turn right at this D junction, so I'm checking main and right mirrors, indicating right, and I'm going to follow the white line that's in the middle of the road, and I'm going round to the right to the double dotted line, where I'm now going to just slowly pause. I'm checking to my left and to my right. It looks good. We're now going to move on, keeping on the left hand side, and round we go. Continuing down the road, we come to another D junction, and we're going straight ahead at this D junction, so I'm keeping on the left. So I'm just checking to my left, keeping on the left hand side. As I approach the double dotted line, I notice that there's a parked car on the left that's really difficult to see. Now I'm going to probably pause before I get to the double dotted line, because I've got a better view of what's going on my left. So I'm having a look on the left, having a look on my right. It's looking pretty clear. I can now approach the double dotted line and moving across the road. keeping on the left hand side. We're going to go round to the left, all these parked cars on the right, and there is a van coming, a Tesco van, so I've stopped suddenly. I'm just looking around me, making sure it's safe to go. Everything's fine. We're now going to take the next turning on the right, which is another D junction, but we're just taking the right hand arm, so it's just like a normal turn right. So I've just checked my main and right mirrors, go halfway past the turning before I start to turn, nothing coming towards me. Trying to keep on the left as much as possible as you go round the corner with all these parked cars. Now with parked cars on both sides of the road, I'm going to keep in the middle of the road as much as possible. In the meantime, I'm still looking around me. I'm just going to bring the speed up a little bit, up to about 20 miles an hour. But I've got to be careful about the next junction, next bend, because there's a parked car on the wrong side, and we seem to have a learner driver doing some parallel parking. So I'm just going to move it forward and just stop around here, giving them some nice space, being aware that I don't want to pressurize them. And I'm just keep looking around me, being aware that I'm sort of slightly exposed, so I'm just looking around me, being aware that there could be other cars trying to come round, but just taking my time, being patient, waiting for them to do their parallel park. In the meantime, I'm still just looking around me, playing it safe, trying to look beyond the learner driver now to see if there's anything coming the other way. There doesn't seem to be anything coming the other way. Once he's generated a bit of space, I have a good look around me and I can start to move forward again. And here we go. Say thank you and off we go. So those are the 3 D junctions in this area, but you can do them in either direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that route again, and then we're going to go round and do them in the opposite direction. So at this roundabout, I'm turning right, 3rd exit. So I'm keeping on the right hand side of the roundabout, keeping nearest to the curb. Don't want to be hugging the curb, don't want to be scraping anything. Now I'm checking main and left, indicating left, being aware that there's a car coming from the road. I'm just slowing things down. The roads are a little bit on the narrow side here, so I'm just looking around me again, just to move into the centre of the road, just a fraction because of the parked cars. I'm just backing off again, keeping on the left, going round the corner, all clear. Again, looking around me, aware that we're coming up to the D junctions. We're going to be turning right, so we're checking main and right mirror, indicating right, slowing things down, being aware that could be something coming from the left hand side. All looking good. Round we go, and we've now got an Asda lorry parked on the other side, so I'm definitely going to need to pause because I'm going to have to go onto the wrong side of the road to exit the junction. There we go, we've got past it. Round we go. Now I'm going to keep on the left and going round. Again, I'm just going to pause this side of the black car because I've got a better view, and you'll see possibly I can see that there's a red car coming our way. Now I'm going to probably wait here. I'm just looking around left and right, see if there's anything coming. Where's that red car gone? There he is. It's coming our way. Now that's looking like he's not going anywhere, and we are going to move on. Looking around, being careful about these parked cars, turning right. So I'm checking main and right, indicating right. Now got a car coming towards us and cars parked on both sides of the road. I've got a nice big space here that I can keep my distance, and I've got a good view of what's going on around me. Okay, looking around me again, moving on. I'm keeping more or less in the middle of the road here because of all the parked cars. I don't need to keep on going in and out, in and out, in and out. Everything looks good. I'm keeping on the left just in case there's something coming. There isn't. Now this time at the roundabout we're going to turn right, and it's going to be the 4th exit. So I take the same actions, checking main and right, indicating right, but I'm now looking to the right. It looks pretty clear, and I'm going to take the 4th exit. First exit's coming up, 2nd exit, 3rd exit, that's the one I was using before. Now I'm checking main and left, indicating left, taking the 4th exit, and I'm coming over across these bumps and ramps. We've got red signs with black arrows on them, which means that I've got to give way to oncoming traffic. There wasn't anything there, so I'm just keep on looking around me and taking my time as we cross over. Looking ahead, I'm not going in and out, I'm just heading through the middle. Once there's a big gap, I can move over to the left. Everything's fine. We're looking ahead, looking, nobody coming the other way, so I can move back into the middle over the ramp, plump, plump, and down again, and then I'm going to take the next road on the left, which is the left-hand arm of the D junction. So I'm checking main and left, indicating left, being aware of the scooter person. Everything's looking good. I'm keeping left, staying left as I go round. Just aware of Mr. Asda there in the way. I'm going to be turning left at this D junction. Again, it's quite straightforward. Left turns are easier to do on a D junction. It's just basically like a normal left turn. And I'm going to follow it round, and off we go again. Off we go. Wary of the corner, so I'm just slowing it down and checking the mirrors, moving around. Everything looks good, and time at the roundabout is 2nd exit. Now, because the 2nd exit I don't need to indicate yet, so if I indicated on the picture it looked like I'm making the 1st exit. I'm just checking around me, slowing down, being aware of anything coming from my right hand side. There is a car coming from the right, just waiting to see where he's going. Okay, everything looks good. We're going to take the 2nd exit, so going past the 1st, now taking the 2nd one, main and left, indicating left, following it round, keeping on the left hand side. Car coming through. I've got another car potentially coming round. No, he's just turned right, that's fine. I'm checking my main and right mirrors to move past these parked cars, keeping about a door's width away from them, just in case they open the door. I'm following the road round to the left, but there's parked cars awkwardly in the road, so I'm just slowing things down, trying to see round them. Yep, all looks good. We've got a learner on the left hand side. I'm just slowing things down, a little bit tight here. Going around, that's good. We're looking round. At this D junction we're turning left, so again quite straightforward. So I'm checking main and left, indicating left, follow the curb round to the double dotted line, just checking, just pausing slightly, checking left and right with parked cars on the left hand side. Makes it a bit awkward. Yep, it's safe to go, so I can cross over onto the wrong side of the road, basically being a little cautious because the next thing we're going to do is turn right. So I'm checking main and right, indicating right. Everything looks good. I'm going to take that right hand arm to the double dotted line. Now the next problem here is that I've got to cross over the road, making sure it's safe, getting right over to the other side in front of the red sign with the black arrow. Look out for any oncoming traffic. There isn't any, then I can go. Now off we go over the ramp. And there we are. We're going to turn left here, so main and right, main and left. Okay, and I'm just going to pause on the left hand side.